Hello and welcome back to Sonny Talk Spurs, and today I'm going to be answering the question of who Spurs need to sign in the striker position to replace Harry Kane finally. And before I get into this one, if you are new to the channel, why don't you leave a like on the video, subscribe to Sonny Talk Spurs and hit that notification bell because it lets you know when I've gone live on the channel. Now, let's get into this reveal. So don't get me wrong, I'm still very jubilant after the Newcastle result where Richarlison scored for the first time with his feet, and then he only did it again a few moments later. I was proved right yet again by something because I said Son needs to go back out on the wing where he thrives the best. I think he was okay as a striker, but I said he's limited for certain things like his hold-up play, his strength. He's not really good with his back to goal. I think he's better, on the wing where he can still use his pace, dribbling and all that sort of stuff. But then there leaves a bit of a gap because, don't get me wrong, I still have hope for Richarlison, but if Spurs want to go to that next level under Ange Postecoglou, we definitely need reinforcements in the striker position. Harry Kane left the club in the summer for Bayern Munich. I dread to think. I think if we had kept Harry Kane, we would have been in the title race this season. Imagine, if Maddison was fit as well, I think we would have been absolutely, the chances we've created in the last few games, Harry Kane would have been all over them. And that's the reason, the last couple of games, we weren't potent enough. But we need a striker to be potent enough. And you probably guessed from the farm, there's two players on there. And I'm going to be making a case for us to not sign one and a case for us to sign one. So I'm going to go with not first because I'm going to, reveal the player who I think we should sign afterwards. And I don't think Tottenham should sign Ivan Toney. And here's the reason why. I think it's going to be too much. I think it's going to be a bidding war and a transfer battle that we don't really want to get into. Arsenal will want him. Chelsea will want him. There'll be suitors. There'll be so many suitors. And I just don't think we can compete with the money they'll be able to chuck on the table, especially without Champions League football in the last couple of years. Chelsea will just, they throw money at anything and try and get him on an 8-year deal. And then meanwhile, Arsenal have got the money and the financial backing now to really make a statement. And I think they've got more of a cause to try and get Toney. I think they'll beat us to the signature of Toney. So I think we lose out in that battle. Don't get me wrong, an amazing striker who puts up incredible numbers. But then also I'm a bit worried, him coming off, this betting ban. Will he hit the ground running? I think he will, but there's still that sort of, unsuredness of will he come back and be, be the player that you hope he could be. But he does offer a lot, good penalty taker, quick, strong, good in the air. I think he'd be a really good option in general. But there's another player who has been linked with a couple of moves. He's been linked with a move to Fulham. He's been linked with a move to West Ham. And, there's a high chance he would stay at the club because this club look like they're finally clicking and playing some amazing football. This season, he already has 8 goals in 16 appearances. Last season, he scored 6 in 33, which doesn't sound that impressive, but, And the season before that, he scored 3 in 32. So at the moment, it doesn't sound that amazing. But after his performance at the weekend against Manchester United, I think he would be the perfect player for Tottenham Hotspur. And you probably guessed who it is by now. It's Dominic Solanke. And I feel like for a fraction of the price for a player who's a year younger than Toney as well, I think he'd be a great option. He, against United, he was so good. He's fast. He's strong. He's good in the air. He's good with ball to feet. He's good at hold-up play. Imagine like Maddison, Kulusevski, and, Son just whipping balls in and creating so many chances for Dom Solanke to finish off. I just think to me, it's a no-brainer. I don't know why. I mean, the numbers don't suggest much, but he is slowly, increasing his form and getting better in his career as it goes on. 3, 6, 8, you might not say that's impressive, but this season, he's been amazing in a team who's finally clicking and playing attacking football. But think how he would do, as I say, with those other players in the Tottenham squad around him. And it's the price for me. I think you could get him out of Bournemouth for quite a reasonable price. And also, we're desperately in the need for an English striker or English players because of the Tottenham's quota at the moment with, I think, in the summer we were struggling to offload certain players because the quota was just like not meeting up. So I just think to me, this makes too much sense. I think it's just very, very logical. He has looked so good for Bournemouth, as I say, this season. They're finally clicking under Iriola. I just think, I just really like the move. I think, my dad sort of put it on my radar as well. We're not, I've not seen anything that we're officially linked with him, but I'm just touting the idea that I think he'd be the perfect striker for Ange Postecoglou. Really tenacious, hungry for goals. And his numbers are getting better. And, I think the thing is with him as well, he had the move to Liverpool and, he was at Chelsea, didn't get a chance, never got the rub of the green at those clubs. And, at Bournemouth, he's eventually grown into he's growing into a striker who will get chances and will, be on the end of everything. So, and I think at Tottenham, it would just make too much sense. And, like most of these videos, I get up a player's FB rev. And, at first glance, you might think, his non-penalty goals are quite low and all that. But, he's averaging, his shots averages are quite good. His progressive carries, successful take-ons. I feel like the numbers from what I see on here are positive in the sense of with more creation and better players around him, he will shine in a better team. And that's not me discrediting Bournemouth, because I think Bournemouth are going in completely the right direction. But, last season under Gary O'Neill, they were very much fighting for their life, staying up sort of football. He sort of reminds me a bit a bit of a quicker Calvert-Lewin. I feel like, Calvert-Lewin without the injuries would have been fantastic for any club. But, I think he gives me like a Harry Kane vibe, that sort of, all-round sort of striker. Maybe not Kane with the sense of the passing, and not as good as a shooter as Kane. But I just really like the idea of this move. My dad mentioned it to me and I thought, there's a video in that because I think he could be the perfect striker for Tottenham and Ange Postecoglou. But let me know in the comments down below, do you disagree with me completely and think Tottenham can sign Ivan Toney? Or do you agree, with my argument of, Solanke is a better option in the sense of financially, January, imagine his goals helping us towards the end of the season. I think it would be quite logical for Tottenham, especially with the way Daniel Levy negotiates. I think Brentford wouldn't deal with us as well as Bournemouth would. But let me know what your thoughts in the comments down below. As I say, if you are new around here, why don't you leave a like on the video, subscribe to Sonny Talks Spurs, and hit that notification bell because it lets you know when I've gone live. And I'll see you again pretty soon, and ciao.